And we're back. This pick goes hard. Anyway, this is Captain America: The First Avenger, and this movie's really boring because I've watched it so many times. If you guys didn't know, this movie is the first chronologically in the timeline. At this point, you have a pretty good gear of what the timeline kind of looks like, but just for a recap, we'd have this movie, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, and um, Thor would be where I would probably place them. If you want to go really deep, a lot of the promos you've looked into take place either before the respective movies or during the respective movies. And the Stark Expo, obviously, one that we went over, would be in 74. So that's what the timeline looks like. This takes place in the 40s. I believe 41 might be when it's 42 is when it starts. 41, I don't know, and it ends in 44, I believe, and then it really ends in like 2012, 2011, so around that time. But honestly, you don't really ever really need to know the years. As long as you know what comes when, you'll figure it out. This is a World War II movie. This is not a superhero movie. This is a World War II movie with a really, really good soldier in it. That's really what this is. It's like if you were playing Call of Duty and you're like a one-man army, but instead of a gun that you're holding like a shield, and you're just really strong. That would be what this movie would feel like a World War II Call of Duty, obviously. That's what it feels like to me. He is so overpowered in this movie. He really never faces a struggle except that Bucky dies. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nod, nod. Whatever I need to do to catch your attention to make sure that you understand that Bucky is not dead, obviously. But yeah, this movie is excellent. Except for the fact that I've watched it 500,000 times. Like I said, it's the first chronologically. So whenever I went to myself and I was like, let me watch the MCU in chronological order, this was always the movie I started out with. That's not a good thing. Because it means that I've watched this movie like 500,000 times. Like, I literally know everything that happens in this movie. And it's a fine movie, but I've watched it so much. And it's really my bad, but, whatever. I'm going to blame it on the movie. All the characters in the movie are good, which I believe might be the first time that that's ever happened. Even Johann Schmidt, I like. Zola, maybe not, but whatever. We'll let one slide. I like everyone in this movie. I think that Red Skull is a very formidable opponent for Captain America. He's kind of like the opposite of Captain America, which again they continue to do. Every villain has been just the opposite of the hero. Every movie has had that. Even Thor and Loki. I mean, Loki is just a mischievous Thor who's not as strong. But they're both still gods. They're brothers. Like, they're similar. And Iron Man 2 was Whiplash. We knew that. Incredible Hulk, obviously. Iron Man, obviously. So every movie has had a opposite of the character. Now, we're not taking into account the Raimi trilogy, even though it's canon. I just put it where I put it because they're the first um release date wise. But talking main MCU timeline, every villain has been the same. Talking Marvel Studios produced, every villain has been the same as the hero, but like evil. And that remains. And honestly, I guess it kind of ends with the Avengers, but not really. And then it goes back in Thor: The Dark World, really. No. They don't really do it again until Winter Soldier, but it's good in Winter Soldier. And then, yeah. So you know what? They stopped doing it, but then they did it again with Ant-Man. That's all that matters. That Ant-Man, Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket are the same character. All right, anyway. Captain America: The First Avenger is a good movie. I do recommend watching it, but the people who say this movie is better than like Civil War and Winter Soldier, someone's got a problem. No, Civil War and Winter Soldier are exceptional Marvel. And First Avenger is not that. So don't get it twisted. I like First Avenger a lot. I think that it's a really decent movie. But no, it's not at all like a 10 out of 10, even close to that range. 9 out of 10 even. When people say this movie's an 8 out of 10, I can start to believe them, but it's not that for me. I'm going to put it at a 7. I like the movie a lot. I think it's very good. It could maybe become 7.5 at some point. That's probably the best it's going to get. It's not mid. It's not bad. It is just good. Period. And for lack of what it is, it's very disconnected from the rest of the MCU except for references to Thor and I guess Howard existing, which would be a reference in itself to Iron Man. And the fact, so it's very interconnected, believe it or not, because guess what? They talk about the super soldier serum as well. This movie directly sets up the Avengers, as does every other movie basically we've talked about, except for maybe Iron Man, which still does it anyway. So you could kind of tell that Avengers is gonna be the movie to watch, which was the point. At this point, sequels had already been announced for a lot of these movies. So, for people who were like, Avengers could be the last movie, no. Much like Endgame wasn't the last movie, Avengers will not be the last movie. We're still going to see a lot from Marvel. Past Avengers Endgame, past Phase 4. We're getting a lot of Marvel. And unfortunately for many, they're just going to have to deal with it. I love Marvel. I'm not going to stop watching it. You guys love Marvel probably if you're watching this at this point. You're not going to stop watching it. The mainstream people, like the people who are like, it's not real cinema, just you have to deal with it. Like, I don't know. These movies aren't bad. It's just that there's superheroes in them, which I guess is enough to make them not a good movie or something. I don't know. Anyway, I am done. It's a 7. You could fight me. This is actually one of the first ones that I think people might actually fight me on. I like it, but I don't love it. And I don't really know why people would hate that, but whatever. And I've been recording for about 7 minutes, and I have to get out like 3 more videos, so I'm out. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. See you guys next one. Anyways, moving on.